art has been an integral part of human culture from the earliest cave paintings to the latest digital installations in contemporary galleries. Whether we find ourselves standing in awe before a centuries-old masterpiece or doodling geometric shapes in the margins of our notebooks, we are harnessing forms of creative expression that have a powerful impact on both our hearts and minds. The bond between art and human emotion is multifaceted, ranging from the deep sense of resonance we might feel when viewing a poignant painting to the therapeutic release we encounter when we pour our own inner world onto a blank canvas. In its broadest sense, art can be understood as any deliberate, expressive act that conveys meaning, emotion, or perspectives through a chosen medium. This might include painting, drawing, sculpture, photography, dance, or other creative disciplines. Over time, psychologists and mental health professionals have come to recognize that involvement in the creative process offers a unique avenue for exploration, coping, and personal growth. Art does not only belong to the talented few who display their creations in galleries or theatres, it belongs to everyone seeking to express internal experiences in ways that may be more visceral and impactful than words can achieve. When we talk about the therapeutic aspects of art, we are referring to its potential to heal, alleviate distress, and promote psychological well-being. In clinical settings, art therapy has emerged as an important discipline. Trained art therapists use a variety of creative activities, painting, sculpting, collage making, and more, to help individuals work through emotional difficulties, trauma, or other psychological challenges. The fundamental idea behind art therapy is that the act of creating, shaping, and colouring can unlock emotional channels that are sometimes blocked by purely verbal communication. People may find it easier to express themselves visually rather than verbally, particularly when dealing with deep-seated emotional pain or confusion. However, a recognition of art's therapeutic benefits does not limit it solely to professional therapy sessions. Anyone can experience the calming, clarifying, or energizing effects of creative work in everyday life, be it by painting as a weekend hobby, learning to draw mandalas for relaxation, experimenting with abstract painting to process difficult emotions, or simply immersing oneself in nature and interpreting the surrounding world through photographs or sketches. These creative endeavours can become windows into our emotional state. What we choose to draw or paint, the colours we reach for, and the images we create can reflect and shape our inner world. The relationship between art and emotions is highly personal, yet it also touches on universal psychological dynamics. Art has been used for centuries in ceremonial, cultural, or communal contexts to unify people or help them overcome shared sorrows. A vibrant mural in a community might bring people together to celebrate cultural heritage, while a personal painting might help an individual transform personal sorrow into something tangible and potentially easier to handle. Psychologically, such acts of creation can be a form of catharsis, an emotional release in which we channel pain, fear, grief, or even joy into a form of visual or artistic expression. Moving forward, this essay will discuss several key themes: emotional catharsis in art, how the process of creating or engaging with art can lead to a psychological release of emotions, different artistic styles and emotional expression, why certain styles, such as realism, impressionism, expressionism, or surrealism, might better capture or convey different emotional tones, creating versus viewing, the impact on mental well-being, how making art and looking at art can yield distinct therapeutic benefits, mandala drawing, mindfulness, and relaxation. Exploring how the repetitive, symmetrical process of drawing and colouring mandalas supports mindfulness-based stress reduction. How abstract art can help process trauma, delving into the ways non-representational forms of art free us from literal narratives and enable deeper emotional work. Together, these themes paint a broad picture of the role of art in emotional health. By weaving in concepts from psychology, including emotional regulation, catharsis, and trauma theory, we gain a richer understanding of why art remains a timeless means of human expression and healing. Ultimately, whether we are creators, observers, or both, art connects us to our interior world and fosters self-discovery. In its capacity to foster empathy, healing, and personal insight, art stands as a testament to the enduring link between creativity and emotional well-being. Catharsis is a concept that has ancient roots in both philosophy and psychology. Historically, the term was popularized by Aristotle, who noted the purging of emotions, particularly pity and fear, experienced by audiences who watched Greek tragedies. In modern psychological parlance, catharsis refers to the process by which we release, resolve, or purify strong or repressed emotions. This release often feels like a relief of built-up tension, leading to a sense of liberation or emotional lightness. When discussing art, catharsis can occur at both ends of the creative spectrum. The person making the art can experience a release of pent-up feelings through the creative process, and the observer can similarly undergo emotional purgation by engaging with an artwork that resonates with personal experiences. One of the reasons art can be so cathartic is that it provides a symbolic container for our feelings. Instead of having to articulate complex emotions like grief, fear, or shame in plain language, we can pour these complicated, intertwined states into colours, lines, shapes, and forms. In some ways, the artwork becomes an emotional surrogate, carrying and expressing experiences that might otherwise remain tangled up inside the individual. The objectification of emotion in the form of a painting, sculpture, or drawing allows the artist to externalize what is internal. By giving abstract feelings a concrete form, it can become easier to explore, reframe, and ultimately come to terms with them. Sigmund Freud and Josef Breuer's work on psychoanalysis introduced the concept of abreaction, where repressed emotions are released during therapy. Art, in many ways, is a self-guided form of such release. Building on psychoanalytic underpinnings, modern art therapy draws from additional schools of thought, including existential, humanistic, and cognitive behavioral theories. Regardless of the theoretical lens, the consensus is that participation in the artistic process can help individuals encounter dormant or unacknowledged feelings, subsequently bringing about emotional awareness and the potential for healing. From a neurobiological perspective, engaging in creative activities can activate the brain's reward system and reduce stress hormones, thus easing tension and fostering a sense of well-being. When individuals who have trouble expressing feelings verbally are encouraged to depict them visually, they may find a new pathway to expression. This bridging of conscious and subconscious experiences is central to why art can serve as a powerful therapeutic outlet. A key point about catharsis is that it is not a passive event. Simply allowing emotions to exist does not always guarantee release. For emotional catharsis to be most beneficial, one typically engages actively, whether through self-expression or introspective observation. For instance, an individual might feel sadness or anxiety and decide to channel it into painting an image that represents those emotions. During the painting, there may be moments of self-reflection, small epiphanies, or simply the physical act of mark-making, all of which contribute to the eventual relief. In many therapy sessions, an art therapist may prompt an individual to explore a specific feeling or experience that the client finds challenging to articulate. The instructions could be open-ended, paint what you're feeling right now, or more structured, draw a scene that represents a safe place. The resulting artwork often surprises the creator by revealing subconscious concerns or hidden insights. Then, through discussion and reflection, a more integrated understanding of the emotional experience is achieved, leading to catharsis. Catharsis can also occur by viewing artwork created by someone else. Imagine walking through a museum and stumbling upon a painting that inexplicably triggers tears. The artist's depiction of sorrow, loneliness, or struggle might echo one's personal emotional experience. Observing art that resonates on a personal level can create a mirror effect, prompting the viewer to confront or release similar feelings. This notion extends beyond museums too. People often find catharsis in movies, music videos, dance performances, or even well-crafted video games that present layered emotional narratives. This phenomenon underscores the social and cultural dimension of art. Through shared symbols and representations, art transcends the boundaries between creator and viewer, forging a communal space for emotional processing. Indeed, some psychologists argue that communal engagement with art, like watching a play, listening to a concert, or attending a group painting class, can amplify feelings of empathy and catharsis, because viewers perceive that they are not alone in their emotional experiences. While catharsis can be profoundly therapeutic, psychologists emphasize the importance of integrating emotional insights that arise during the process. Catharsis without reflection can sometimes leave a person feeling raw or overwhelmed, especially if powerful repressed emotions surface quickly. An ideal scenario would involve a balance of release and subsequent reflection, potentially with the guidance of a mental health professional if the emotions are related to complex or traumatic events. For self-guided creative pursuits, journaling about the art-making process or discussing one's experience with a trusted friend can help bridge the gap between raw emotional release and deeper self-understanding. This might also involve gradually revisiting finished artworks to notice changing perceptions and reflect on emotional progress. Art stands as a potent vessel for emotional catharsis, offering a tactile visual means to externalize and work through feelings that may otherwise remain locked within the psyche. Through the interplay of colors, shapes, symbols, and images, individuals find a channel to express, confront, and possibly transform their innermost experiences. At the same time, viewers can encounter works of art that resonate with their own emotional world, allowing them to partake in a vicarious release of pent-up feelings. Yet, the most significant therapeutic gains occur when catharsis is coupled with mindful reflection and emotional integration. In this way, art can serve not just as a source of relief but as a catalyst for enduring personal growth. Artistic styles function like different languages. Each style carries its own grammar, vocabulary, and tone. From the lush, precise landscapes of realism to the distorted perspectives of expressionism, every style foregrounds certain emotional qualities and interpretive possibilities. Understanding how different styles might evoke specific feelings can be immensely helpful for both creators and observers seeking therapeutic or emotional resonance. Whether one is drawn to Impressionism for its dreamy, light-filled scenes, or to Cubism for its fragmented, multifaceted approach to reality, each style offers unique avenues for emotional exploration and expression. Realism, as the name suggests, attempts to depict subjects as accurately and precisely as possible. In psychological terms, realism can offer a grounding effect. Because realistic art resembles everyday life, it can communicate direct truths about the human condition. Realistic portraits, for example, can reveal nuanced emotional states. Subtle expressions, the tilt of a head, or the glimmer in someone's eyes can poignantly convey sadness, hope, or tenderness. Therapeutically, realism might help individuals confront actual life events without escape or abstraction. Painting or drawing in a realistic style can encourage the artist to look closely at reality, whether that entails focusing on the wrinkles in a loved one's face or the intricate details of a personal trauma scene. In turn, viewers who relate to that realism may find solace in recognizing their own experiences mirrored accurately on the canvas. This can stimulate empathy and a sense of shared humanity. Impressionism emerged in the late 19th century primarily in France, as artists like Claude Monet and Pierre-Auguste Renoir sought to capture the ephemeral quality of light and its changing effects on scenes. Instead of focusing on exact details, Impressionists used quick brushstrokes and vibrant colours to convey the transience of time and visual perception. Psychologically, Impressionism often evokes a sense of momentary wonder. It can remind viewers of the fleeting nature of life, memories, and emotions. People who find themselves overwhelmed by the complexities of daily life might connect with Impressionism's looser, more fluid presentation. This style can offer a sense of relaxation, as it abandons rigid outlines and invites a softer, more contemplative engagement with the artwork. Therapeutically, artists using impressionistic techniques might discover that capturing the mood or atmosphere of a moment is more liberating than striving for photographic accuracy. This freedom can be especially beneficial to individuals dealing with perfectionistic tendencies or anxiety. Expressionism places a premium on portraying emotional experiences over physical reality. Think of Edvard Munch's The Scream, which distorts figure and landscape alike to convey the overwhelming anxiety of the subject. In Expressionism, colours are often bold, lines can be exaggerated, and forms are sometimes twisted to reflect the artist's internal psychological or emotional landscape. For those looking to release pent-up intensity, Expressionism is a powerful style to explore. By intentionally amplifying emotion through colour contrasts, dynamic brushstrokes, and distorted forms, The artist externalizes an inner turmoil that might feel too big or disorganized when kept inside. Observers often respond to the raw energy in expressionistic works, feeling a visceral, empathetic reaction. This resonance can open the door for conversations around mental health, trauma, or personal struggles, as the viewer might see in the painting a reflection of emotional states they have experienced but struggled to articulate. Surrealism, inspired largely by the works of Sigmund Freud and his writings on dreams and the unconscious, seeks to merge reality with dreamlike or fantastical imagery. Surrealist artworks can be bizarre, paradoxical, or filled with unexpected juxtapositions, as exemplified by Salvador Dali's melting clocks in The Persistence of Memory. Psychologically, surrealism is a window into the hidden recesses of the mind, where desire, fear, and imaginative flights of fancy intertwine. Therapeutically, engaging with surrealism allows for a release from the constraints of everyday logic. This style can be especially valuable for individuals who feel confined by societal expectations or personal inhibitions. Surrealistic exercises encourage playful exploration, free association, and a dive into the symbolic realm of dreams. As a viewer, encountering surrealist art might spark curiosity or even confusion, leading to introspection about one's own unconscious associations. This reflective journey can unlock new insights into personal motivations, conflicts, or hidden desires. Abstract art discards recognizable form altogether, focusing on color, shape, and line as expressive elements in their own right. This style can be incredibly liberating for individuals who want to detach from literal representations and explore pure feeling. Abstract expressionists such as Jackson Pollock emphasize the act of creation itself, dripping and splattering paint in a dynamic interplay that mirrored their emotional states. For many people, abstract art is a powerful medium for processing emotions that are not easily named or categorized. Instead of illustrating a specific scene or object, the artist can channel an emotion directly through color fields, brushstrokes, or the interplay of shapes. Some might find abstract art intimidating or confusing at first, but from a therapeutic perspective, it invites open interpretation. Observers can project their own feelings onto the artwork, seeing in the shapes and colors something uniquely personal. This can lead to deep self-reflection and meaningful emotional connection. In therapeutic settings or personal artistic practice, the choice of style often correlates with emotional needs or preferences. A client who desires structure and clarity might gravitate toward realism, whereas another who needs to vent intense emotions might prefer expressionism. Still, others seeking to unlock imagination or delve into subconscious material might choose surrealism or abstract styles. Ultimately, there is no single best style for emotional expression. Rather, the key is to find the mode of visual language that resonates most strongly with one's current inner state. Moreover, individuals can shift among styles over time as their emotional landscape evolves. For instance, one might start with abstract doodling to break free from rigid thinking, then transition into more realistic drawings when they feel ready to confront certain life experiences in a direct visual manner. The fluidity and adaptability of artistic styles make art a versatile tool for self-exploration and emotional support. Art engagement can be generally divided into two main categories: active creation and passive observation or reception. Both forms have distinct psychological benefits. While creating art involves actively manipulating materials and engaging the mind-body connection to bring forth something new, viewing art involves receptive processing, introspection, and often empathy. Psychologically, each pathway can yield unique and overlapping rewards. When a person creates art, they actively shape an emotional or conceptual vision into a tangible form. This process can foster a heightened sense of agency and autonomy, especially for individuals who may feel voiceless in other parts of their lives. The physical act of drawing, painting, sculpting, or collaging can channel pent-up energy and convert feelings into actionable steps. Studies have shown that engaging in creative tasks can prompt a state of flow, where one becomes deeply immersed in an activity, losing self-consciousness and a sense of time. Coined by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, flow is associated with optimal experiences of motivation, concentration, and satisfaction. During these moments, stress and anxiety can recede, replaced by a focused calm that may persist even after the creative session ends. Completing an artwork, be it a simple sketch or a detailed painting, can boost self-esteem. The sense of accomplishment that accompanies creative expression often transcends questions of technical skill. People who initially doubt their artistic abilities may feel proud simply by daring to attempt something new. This self-affirmation can be particularly valuable in therapeutic settings, where individuals grapple with feelings of worthlessness or self-doubt. In the act of creation, hidden emotions or memories can surface. Making art often involves intuitive choices, selecting colours, shapes, and compositions without fully conscious rationale. Later reflection on these choices can yield insights into emotional or psychological states. In this way, the creative process becomes a mirror for one's inner world, prompting discovery and personal growth. Viewing art can stir deep emotional responses. Whether the artwork elicits joy, sadness, wonder, or curiosity, these emotional reactions can help individuals connect to their own feelings. Observing the experiences depicted by an artist or implied in an abstract piece can cultivate empathy, bridging the gap between self and other. This resonance is especially potent when the observer sees reflections of their personal struggles, desires, or questions mirrored in the artwork. Museums, galleries, and even online platforms often highlight the soothing effect of simply looking at art. For some individuals, taking the time to absorb and interpret visual stimuli can lower stress levels, akin to meditation. Concentrating on an artwork's details, colour palettes, brushstrokes, subject matter, can momentarily suspend ruminative thoughts, granting the mind a reprieve from daily worries. Art can be a portal to different cultures, historical periods, and philosophical perspectives. By engaging with art, viewers broaden their intellectual and emotional horizons, reflecting on societal values, existential questions, or personal morals. This reflective process can be therapeutic in its own right, as it encourages individuals to situate their personal experiences within broader contexts, alleviating feelings of isolation or confusion. Encountering art that resonates can spark renewed enthusiasm or hope. A person might see a painting that prompts them to reevaluate their life choices, or draws forth a surge of creativity. This inspirational quality of art can galvanize positive changes in mood, perspective, or behavior. In some therapeutic contexts, clients are encouraged to select artworks that invoke specific emotional states they want to cultivate, like tranquility, hope, or resilience. It is vital to note that creating and viewing art are not mutually exclusive. In many cases, they reinforce and enrich each other. Artists often draw inspiration from the work of others, leading to a deeper appreciation and a desire to experiment with new techniques or ideas. Conversely, a viewer who has dabbled in creating art may engage more deeply with another artist's work, understanding the intricacies of technique and the emotional labour behind it. This dual engagement can form a cyclical pattern of inspiration, reflection, and creation. In determining whether to focus on creating art, viewing art, or blending both, individuals might consider personal preference as well as therapeutic goals. Someone aiming to develop better self-awareness might benefit from creating art and then reflecting on what emerges. On the other hand, a person primarily in need of relaxation or inspiration might start with viewing art, allowing themselves to absorb different styles and emotional tones. In a structured therapy context, a mental health professional may incorporate both approaches, leading a client through art-making exercises as well as curated art viewings to stimulate emotional discussion. Group art workshops combine the benefits of both creating and viewing in a communal environment. Participants can support each other, critique each other's work in constructive ways, and share emotional reactions to both personal and collective creations. Community art projects such as collaborative murals further extend these benefits by fostering unity and a shared sense of purpose. Psychologically, these collective experiences can mitigate feelings of isolation, bolster social support networks, and intensify the sense of accomplishment and pride in one's creative output. Whether one picks up a paintbrush or steps into a gallery, engagement with art offers a meaningful avenue for exploring and nurturing emotional well-being. Creating art can unlock self-expression, provide stress relief, enhance self-esteem, and facilitate deep emotional processing. Viewing art fosters empathy, relaxation, cultural insight, and inspiration. Far from an either or proposition, each approach can complement the other, forming a holistic strategy to enhance mental and emotional health. Art remains, in all its forms, an ever-present opportunity for growth, connection, and healing. The term mandala stems from the ancient Sanskrit word for circle, and mandalas are often circular designs that incorporate repetitive, symmetrical patterns. In various Eastern traditions, particularly Buddhism and Hinduism, mandalas serve as spiritual symbols representing the cosmos or the universe. They are frequently used as focal points for meditation, with the radiating patterns guiding the mind toward unity and centering. Mandala drawing and colouring have gained prominence in modern psychology and wellness practices for their calming and meditative qualities. Clinical and popular colouring books feature detailed mandala designs, encouraging individuals to focus on each line, shape, and colour selection. This concentration can naturally lead to a state of mindfulness, a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. By immersing oneself in the act of colouring or creating patterns, ruminative thought loops, often associated with anxiety and depression, are temporarily interrupted. Reduce stress and anxiety. The rhythmic, repetitive nature of drawing or colouring a mandala can lower physiological markers of stress such as heart rate and blood pressure. Engaging in this activity for even short intervals can create a soothing effect. Enhanced focus and concentration. Mandalas often feature complex designs that require sustained attention. By zeroing in on intricate details, the artist trains their focus, akin to an exercise in mindfulness meditation. Over time, this practice can sharpen cognitive skills related to sustained attention, a sense of completion and harmony. Mandalas typically revolve around a central point, and their symmetrical design suggests balance and harmony. Completing a mandala might evoke a sense of personal wholeness or psychological equilibrium. For those who struggle with chaotic emotions, the structured form of a mandala can provide a calming counterpoint, symbolic representation of inner states. While some mandalas follow preset patterns, others are open-ended. Individuals can design personal mandalas that represent parts of themselves or their experiences. The circular form can metaphorically contain difficult emotions, transforming them into a visually coherent pattern. This can enhance self-awareness and acceptance. Mandala drawing pairs naturally with mindfulness practices. Before beginning, one might take a few deep breaths, centering attention on the bodily sensations of breathing. As the colouring or drawing process unfolds, the individual can periodically check in with their body, notice any tension in the neck or shoulders, any wandering thoughts, and gently return focus to the mandala. This approach mirrors formal mindfulness exercises, where the practitioner continually refocuses on a chosen object of attention, like the breath, whenever the mind strays. Here, the mandala itself functions as the meditative focal point. In professional art therapy, mandalas can be used diagnostically or for personal exploration. An art therapist might ask a client to create a mandala representing their safe space or their current emotional state. The shapes, colours, and images that emerge can yield insights into the client's worries, hopes, or subconscious associations. Moreover, because mandalas are often inviting and non-intimidating, anyone can colour or fill in a pattern, the approach can be particularly effective with individuals who are anxious about their artistic abilities. Additionally, group therapy sessions can involve collective mandala creations, where participants each colour or draw a segment of a large communal mandala. This fosters a sense of collaboration and unity, as the group collectively shapes a symbolic design. The completed piece stands as a testament to shared effort and can serve as a focal point for group discussions about interconnectedness, boundaries, or group identity. Choose a comfortable environment. Select a calm, well-lit space where you can focus without constant interruptions. Gather materials. Coloured pencils, markers, or fine-tipped pens are common tools for colouring mandalas. For drawing, pencil and compasses can help create symmetrical circles, but freehand designs are also encouraged. Set an intention. Consider what you hope to achieve from the exercise, e.g., relaxation, processing an emotion, or simply enjoying a mindful break. Embrace imperfection. The value of mandala drawing lies in the process, not the final product. If your shapes aren't perfect or your colours bleed, view that as part of the mindful journey. Reflect afterward. Notice how you feel once you've finished. Did the exercise bring a sense of calm or reveal any emotional insights? Mandalas elegantly combine artistic creation with mindfulness principles, making them a potent tool for relaxation, self-exploration, and stress management. Their symmetrical designs naturally invite focus and introspection, guiding individuals away from distracting thoughts and toward the present moment. Whether used in formal art therapy sessions or as a self-care ritual at home, mandala drawing and colouring can cultivate inner balance, reduce anxiety, and nurture creativity. Over time, the practice can become an accessible, gentle means of returning to oneself, a visual form of meditation that both soothes and illuminates the mind's hidden corners. Trauma, by definition, involves experiences that overwhelm our capacity to cope, events so distressing that they disrupt a person's sense of safety and identity. Whether stemming from abuse, accidents, war, or other life-altering incidents, trauma can leave emotional scars that are challenging to express verbally. Survivors often struggle to find the language to describe their experiences, or might feel re-traumatized when asked to recount them directly. In such contexts, abstract art can provide a non-verbal, flexible modality to navigate and potentially integrate traumatic memories. Abstract art departs from literal representation. It doesn't necessitate a coherent narrative or recognizable forms. This quality becomes an asset for individuals who need distance from the specifics of a traumatic event. Instead of drawing or painting the event itself, they might express the emotional aftermath, terror, grief, numbness, through colour fields, shapes, and gestures. Abstract expression can thus bypass the cognitive defences or language barriers that might hinder healing. When dealing with trauma, creating an abstract image can serve as a symbolic container for overwhelming feelings. A swirl of red paint might represent the anger a person feels but can't articulate. Jagged lines could stand in for intrusive thoughts or flashbacks. Because abstract art doesn't confine the individual to a strict representation of the traumatic event, it can feel safer. This safety is crucial, as re-experiencing trauma without adequate emotional support can be detrimental. Abstract art allows a survivor to set the pace, controlling how much detail or representation to include. In psychology, externalization refers to separating a problem or emotion from one's sense of self. When trauma survivors paint their anguish in abstract form, they place it on the canvas rather than holding it exclusively within their minds and bodies. This externalization can initiate a new dynamic. The survivor can observe, alter, or even destroy the representation if that's part of their healing process. Some art therapists encourage clients to modify their abstract artworks over several sessions, symbolically transforming the trauma's hold over them. For instance, painting over a dark red swirl with soothing blues might parallel the gradual acceptance and integration of overwhelming anger or fear. Healing from trauma is rarely a linear process, and abstract art naturally accommodates non-linear forms of storytelling. Traditional narratives often follow a sequence of beginning, middle, and end, but trauma memories can be fragmented, disorganized, or timeless in nature. An abstract painting or collage can weave together disparate emotional fragments without forcing them into a coherent timeline. This approach aligns with trauma-informed therapy, which recognizes that survivors may need to piece together their story gradually and in a way that doesn't re-traumatize them. Trauma can also manifest somatically, leading to chronic pain, tension, or disassociation. Abstract art making often involves intuitive, spontaneous gestures, dripping paint, sweeping brushstrokes, or even the physical act of tearing and rearranging collage materials. These bodily movements can help individuals release pent-up energy and reconnect with their physical selves. Many trauma survivors experience a disconnect between mind and body. Art that emphasizes physical gestures can gently restore that connection. In art therapy, the presence and guidance of a trained professional are particularly important when working with trauma. The therapist provides a safe, supportive environment, offering prompts or interventions tailored to the client's readiness. They can help interpret the symbols that arise in abstract art, encourage reflection, and ensure that the client doesn't become overwhelmed. Crucially, a therapist might also help the client integrate the artwork's emotional revelations into a broader healing framework, potentially incorporating verbal processing, grounding techniques, or trauma-focused cognitive behavioral strategies. One of the central aims of trauma recovery is to restore a sense of agency that the traumatic events undermined. Abstract art can be empowering because the client holds the creative reins. They decide what colours to use, how forceful or delicate the brushstrokes will be, and whether the final piece will remain unaltered or evolve over time. Each choice reaffirms that the individual is more than the trauma, that they can shape and transform their emotional narrative. This sense of control can carry over into daily life, reinforcing self-efficacy and resilience. While abstract art may appear ambiguous, it often conveys emotional truths that can be validated by others, whether that's a therapist, a support group, or close friends. When someone else views the artwork and recognizes the intensity of feeling it holds, the survivor receives an important form of acknowledgement. This witnessing can be profoundly healing, countering the isolating tendencies of trauma and reminding survivors that they are not alone in their struggle. Abstract art offers a uniquely accommodating, gentle avenue for trauma processing. By stepping away from literal depictions, survivors can engage with emotions in a controlled, symbolic manner that respects their psychological boundaries. Through gestural mark-making, non-linear storytelling, and the collaborative space fostered by art therapy, individuals can externalize difficult feelings, gradually reintegrate fractured parts of themselves, and reclaim a sense of mastery over their lives. While it is no substitute for comprehensive professional care, abstract art stands as a powerful component of a holistic approach to trauma recovery. Art in its myriad forms has a profound capacity to touch and transform our inner lives. It offers a multifaceted pathway to emotional well-being that is accessible to everyone, from professional artists and trained therapists to casual hobbyists and occasional museum goers. Across cultures and time periods, humans have turned to art to process experiences, convey complex feelings, and connect with others on a deeply emotional plane. Through the lens of psychology, we see how art functions on multiple levels. As a tool for catharsis, a mirror for self-reflection, a communal language that transcends words, and a safe container for difficult emotions. The creation of art fosters a sense of agency, invites flow states, and can reveal subconscious material that might otherwise remain hidden. Meanwhile, the observation of art, from classical paintings and sculptures to contemporary digital installations, can evoke empathy, spark inspiration, and offer moments of calm or exhilaration. Both creation and observation weave into a holistic tapestry of mental and emotional support, amplifying each other's benefits. Different artistic styles open unique doors to emotional expression. Realism grounds us in the tangible truths of life, capturing the subtle emotional undertones of everyday scenes. Impressionism focuses on light and colour, reminding us of the transient nature of reality and offering a gentle, often soothing immersion. Expressionism pushes emotional intensity to the forefront, making it a potent avenue for individuals seeking to channel deep, possibly tumultuous feelings. Surrealism taps into the dreamlike realms of the unconscious, encouraging an exploration of imagination and hidden desires. Finally, abstract art eschews recognizable forms entirely, granting unparalleled freedom to represent internal states that defy literal description. Mandala drawing, with its circular symmetrical patterns, epitomizes the fusion of art, mindfulness, and meditation. Through repetitive design and focused coloring, individuals can enter a calm, centered state where stresses fade and self-awareness sharpens. Mandalas can also serve as powerful tools in therapy, providing a gentle, structured way for clients to explore personal symbolism and find balance in times of emotional turmoil. In the realm of trauma recovery, abstract art proves particularly beneficial. Its open-ended, non-representational nature allows survivors to express the unspeakable aspects of their experiences. Trauma often disrupts a survivor's sense of continuity and language, and abstract art creates a haven where one can externalize chaotic emotions and gradually re-establish a narrative in a safe, controlled manner. Over time, This process can foster empowerment, self-discovery, and an integrative form of healing that acknowledges the reality of what happened while affirming the survivor's capacity for creativity and transformation. One of art's most significant strengths lies in its universality and adaptability. Anyone can participate in artistic exploration, regardless of prior skill or training. While formal art therapy with a qualified professional can be life-changing for those grappling with severe emotional or psychological issues, informal art activities in everyday settings also carry great therapeutic potential. A person might begin a personal ritual of doodling mandalas, journaling alongside watercolour sketches, or simply spending time each week viewing online galleries. Each small step can enrich one's emotional life and foster resilience. As society grows more aware of the mental health crisis worldwide, art emerges as a resource that can bridge gaps in communication, reduce stigma, and bring solace to individuals across demographics. Community art projects can strengthen bonds by allowing participants to share stories and collaborate on a collective piece. School programs that integrate art into the curriculum can better support students' emotional intelligence and creative problem-solving skills. Hospitals and mental health facilities that feature art exhibitions or facilitate art-making sessions can provide patients with nurturing and restorative experiences during challenging times. In conclusion, art's emotional and therapeutic aspects are rooted in its power to translate the human condition into tangible or visible forms. It meets us where we are, whether in moments of despair, confusion, longing, or joy, and reflects the infinite complexity of our interior world. From the cathartic release found in expressionistic brushstrokes to the mindful tranquility of mandala colouring, art's potential to heal and inspire remains boundless. As we continue to explore the intersections of creativity, psychology, and well-being, we reaffirm an age-old truth. Art is more than decoration or pastime. It is a potent force in shaping our understanding of ourselves, each other, and the vibrant tapestry of human emotion.